So, it's a new year, and that means New Year's resolutions. Depending on which survey you look at, anywhere from 19 to only 4% of people actually finish their New Year's resolutions. But, according to psychologist Jonathan Alpert, the number one thing you can do to ensure you actually accomplish it is really simple. Be specific. So, here are 3 easy, doable, and specific money-related New Year's resolutions that you can do. And if you're under the age of 25, these are some of the best decisions you can make, even if you only pick one of them. Hi, my name's JD Widhelm, and I believe in helping young adults build financial and relational wealth in order to bless others. Number 1, open a credit card. Now, you might be thinking, wait, if I'm opening a credit card, isn't that one of the worst things I could do? Yes and no. It's true that a huge segment of consumer financial debt is in credit card debt, but responsibly managing credit is one of the biggest indicators to credit bureaus that you are trustworthy to lend money to. This matters when you want to buy a house, buy a car, or make major business investments. So, how do you do that? You start building it early. If you're opening a new credit card, this is great if you've never done it before, or if you only have like 1 or 2. If, on the other hand, you're in this situation going, I've used credit cards a lot and I've got a bunch of credit card debt. Okay, no big deal. You do want to open more credit cards in the future, but first, let's pay off the debt you've got on the ones you already have. Simply pick the one credit card this year that has the lowest balance. Why the lowest? It's the easiest to get rid of. And make the goal paying that off completely. Because that means you're getting 15, 20, 25% interest in expense removed by the end of the year. That's huge. Why not do it? And with both of these things, opening a new credit card and building credit, or paying down a credit card and building credit, you're in both cases building credit. I'll make a whole nother video about this in the future, about the 3 best credit cards you can open, depending on what stage of life you're in, and if you've got one or have a bunch already. Lastly, when it comes to credit, even if you don't use it that much, that's fine. Simply put your Netflix subscription or put your gas bill on it. Simple, ordinary, recurring payments, you know how much they're going to be. Use your credit card for them. Then, this is important, pay them off every month, on time, in full. Do those 2 things over and over consistently, and congratulations, you've got good credit. It's really that easy. It takes time, takes effort, but that's all there is to it. The other thing about this, only spend money you already have and money you already were going to spend. It's not free money, it's just your money earlier. Number 2, open a Roth IRA. This is the one thing out of all 3 of these I wish I'd done sooner. What is a Roth IRA? In short, like a 401k, it's a type of account similar to a checking account or a savings account, under which all of your investments live, and it has certain tax advantages. There's a lot to it, but it's not super complicated, and I'll make another video about it. But the difference between a Roth IRA and a 401k is how the taxes work, and it's mostly dependent upon your level of income and what tax bracket you fall in. So if you're like me and you're not making a ton of money right now, the Roth IRA is the better option. We're in a lower tax bracket now, and so by paying the taxes now instead of later when we retire, we end up paying less taxes overall. And setting up a Roth IRA is super simple. What you can do, I'll leave a link in the description below for the service I use, which is Wealthfront. It's simple, it's automated, which I love. I love automation. And because of this, you set it up, you attach an account, you tell it how aggressive you want your investment to be, and you set a threshold. Every, in my case, other week, I will have $100 pulled out of my account and invested. And I have it set up so it happens when I get paid, so I never see the money. And that's it. Just don't touch it. How does Wealthfront work that makes me love it so much? It's the fact that it's not only investing in index funds, which are kind of like a basket with lots of little pieces of everything, but the entire account is made up of different individual index funds. So it's really almost an index fund of index funds. Why this is helpful, let's say one company does really badly or goes out of business. Okay, such a small portion of my whole investments. Or let's say one sector, such as this year, real estate didn't do so great. That's okay, because I've got other sectors that are doing fine, like the US stocks. And I'll show you right here how my investments have performed this year. So you can see, even when some things are doing poorly, other things are doing well, it's fine. As long as you never sell, you're still locked in. The reason this is such a big deal to do early, and I wish I had done this sooner, is because it gives you more time for the power of compound interest to work for you. I didn't start investing in a Roth IRA until last year. I was 26. I wish I had started when I was 18, 19, 20, because in that small amount of time difference, the amount of money I've been investing will make a huge difference in the future if I'd been able to start sooner. So even if it's just 50 bucks, 100 bucks, that's fine. Start now. You'll be so glad you did. And like I mentioned, I'll make a whole nother video about this, even walking through the whole process. It's well worth your time. And it's a New Year's resolution that you can do in about a half hour and be done, and just don't touch it for the rest of the year. And congratulations, you finished it. Lastly, number 3, house hack. Now, a lot of people talk about house hacking. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. In short, it's basically just making it so that the place you're living in, you're sharing with multiple people. What that allows is you bring down the amount that you personally are paying for it. So this can work in an apartment, it can work in a rental house where you're the tenant, or it can work if you own the place. So if you've got a spare bedroom and you're the one who owns it, why not rent it out? Even if it's just to a friend and it's nothing fancy, that's still money coming in that lowers how much you're paying. Or more realistically, if you're like most of us renting either an apartment or a house with some friends, great. Why not add somebody else? How your lease is structured. Are you allowed to sublease? And how many occupants are allowed in the residence? Some leases will specify things like this. But you've got all year. You could move into a different place. So let's say you're living in an apartment right now and you're paying $1,200 and it's just you and one other person. That's $600 a month for you. Now, imagine you start renting a house, 4-bedroom, 2-bath for $1,800 a month. Each of you is only paying $450 a month. That means you're saving $150 simply by changing where you live. And if you were already doing number 2 and investing in a Roth IRA, you can take that $150, which you were already used to spending because of your rent being higher, and reinvest it. That's it. You still have just as much common space. In fact, you've probably got more. And the only difference, you have to share a little more the driveway, the garage, if you have one, and the kitchen. Okay, not a big deal. It's still drastically bringing down how much you're spending. Why not? And you've got all year, so you've got plenty of time to find some good roommates and make that decision. I'll also be making a whole video about house hacking, how I've done it, both when I was renting and now that I own my own place. With all of this, the reason I'm doing this is because I want to help you build financial wealth and relational wealth in order to bless other people. So if you feel like this has added value to you, I would ask who's someone that you feel would also benefit from this. And I'd encourage you to share it with them, because the reason we're doing this is not to keep it for ourselves, but to share with others. If you feel like this has been valuable, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.